Hello, everybody. My name is Ben Abercrombie. I'm the director of Placard Environmental Education Center just outside of Loris, South Carolina. And today we're going to be talking about a very interesting subject. This subject is called the geology of South Carolina. And if you look at the geology of South Carolina on Google, when you pop it up there, it says the geology of South Carolina consists of 6 distinct geological regions: the Blue Ridge Mountain region, the Piedmont, the Sandhills, the Intercoastal Plain, the Outer Coastal Plain, and the Coastal Zone. That's by Wikipedia. Now, if we look and we come down here to the first link, what you're going to see is South Carolina DNR. That's Department of Natural Resources, sc.gov. We're going to touch on that link, and what you're going to see is several different topic layers. You're going to see an earthquake zone, which we have earthquakes on a monthly basis in South Carolina. A lot of people don't realize how many small earthquakes we actually have all the time. About 100 years ago, we had a massive earthquake that shook the city of Charleston almost to its knees. It was an amazing event that actually redefined that city for a generation. Over here, you'll see education. In education, you'll see the rock cycle. If you go into there, we'll take a quick tour of that really quickly. You basically have a lot of different things. You have a science kit that you can get for a certain amount of money. You can get a science kit sent to you that has examples of the different types of minerals you'll see throughout the state, rocks and minerals. If you look here, you've got a lot of different PowerPoint presentations, and you also have handouts as well as poster graphics. So they're really cool. What I do, a lot of these things here are obviously correlated to science standards. So these are great. You can just bring one up here. We'll do one. We'll just take a look. We'll look at the, geologic time zones here. So if we look here, it'll take you through the 2005 science academic standards, and it takes you through how it's correlated. And then it talks about the different, types of topics that you would see when talking about geologic history. So what we're going to do is we're also going to go over, we're going to take a very unique look at South Carolina. We're going to go back out of here. We're going to go over and check out the overview of the geology of South Carolina. So what you need to know is South Carolina tells a story geologically. Millions of years ago, the continent that is now Africa actually slid across and above the North American plate and actually folded the rocks of both Africa and North America together. And what they did was they created this Blue Ridge zone right here. And when you touch on this map, it gives you a lot of different characteristics of the specific mineral formations in each part of South Carolina. So as it folded there, basically it created a lot of what they call an escarpment, a Blue Ridge escarpment. So there's a lot of waterfalls in this region of South Carolina. Escarpments are known for cliff faces. An escarpment can also be where the ocean comes up and creates a flat sand zone in the coastal region here, and it goes up in the first primary dune line. That's called an escarpment. That's a major change in angle on any type of formation. So if you look here, we're going to touch on it. Over here, you've got a Brevard zone. And like I said, right here, we almost lost South Carolina millions of years ago to the African continent when this Brevard fault was actually formed. Okay, so this escarpment fault here was actually the scrape point where all that pressure hit. So it's a very unique form, and it's got some myelinitic and cataclysmic rocks, cataclysm, and it sounds like cataclysmic rocks, which basically means it was a tremendous formation that came together with a lot of heat and pressure to create these rocks. They're very unique. Now, if you come here just to the east of that, you'll come to the Chaga Belt. That's known by the Chaga River. It's a river formation, and the Poor Mountain Formation. It has Henderson Gneiss, and Chaga River has graphitic phyllite member overlain successfully by a lower Brevard phyllite member and a carbonate member and upper Brevard phyllite member. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually find fossils in these regions here, even they're in the top of the mountains, because at one point, once again, that coastal plain region here, out of the east in the eastern Atlantic here, what's in the Atlantic Ocean now, was pushed up. And so you have ancient fossils along the mountains as well. So we're going to go below that. Below that, this is the Greenville sheet. Okay, what you're going to see here below the Greenville, it's really not a sheet. It's a lot of hilly regions there that have got a lot of different type of mixes of rocks. Magniferous schists, metamorphosed manganese silicates, metamorphosed marine sediments that receive some volcanic material. So as these formations and these massive collisions happened millions of years ago between those giant sheets, you end up with a lot of formations over time. But as they weathered, it became these clay layers that washed across the top of the sheet. So as you see that, you've got the Piedmont block, and that is known by the red clays right there. So that's the western half of South Carolina. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to do a second section of this, and we're going to go from the fall line right there at Columbia to the east of South Carolina, and we're going to show you some geology there. So we're going to break this into a two-part series. This is part one of the geology of South Carolina. Everybody stay forever wild. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.